Hey, what's going on, world? What's going on, YouTube? What's going on to America? As you can see, that is Prince on your right, and on your left, that is Mayte Garcia. She has been speaking about Prince, for the past, 3 or 4 years. She was in that Hollywood X with Drea Kelly. And with Mayte Garcia's, the book she's written about Prince and the interview she's done about Prince was nothing malice about it. But I just want y'all to hear something that everybody is speaking about R. Kelly, about people signing over their kids over to R. Kelly and giving over, R. Kelly, selling their children, all this type of stuff, which I found out to be very, ludicrous to hear that. What she said, this woman is Puerto Rican now. She's Puerto Rican. What she said about Prince, you know, what her parents did when she was in Germany, because her parents were I think were in the military, army, or something like that. Listen to this interview where she speaks about her parents signing her over or something like that when she was 16. And listen how the interviewer that's from Good Morning with Philip and Cindy, how they speak about what they I want y'all to hear how she defends Prince. This is a Puerto Rican woman defending Prince, even though she was 16. You know what I'm saying? And I want y'all to listen to this. And just listen.
Room, or because I know that when you went to see him, first of all, you took your mum, took your sister. But how old were you when you first, like, face to face, locked eyes?
16. I was 16 years old.
So what was the relationship?
But I wasn't a regular 16 years old. I was a professional dancer by then. I was working for corporate events and Cairo, and I had a lot of opportunities at a very young age.
But it got sort of more than that, because the relationship moved on, the friendship moved on. He got your number, you chatted backwards and forwards, and then it came to you going out on the road with him. You were too young to go out on the road with him, and this is the bit that both Holly and I went, what? That your dad made him your legal guardian so that you could go on the road with him.
Yeah, because my father saw the back and forth between Prince and I. I would send him videotapes of my dancing, and he would send me music. And I kept going on these trips to visit him, and he just knew. And when Prince asked him if I could come to Los Angeles, it was actually when he was doing Diamonds and Pearls video. He was doing Cream and Diamonds and Pearls in the same kind of the same production. And there was a possibility that I could work. So instead of having to deal with all the paperwork, because back then there was no email, and everything took 2-3 days to get from Germany, Europe to the United States.
I've got to say, Mayte, as a father here, I've got two girls. As a father here of two girls, if one of my girls at 17 said, I'm going on the road with a rock star, will you sign over my legal guardianship to them? I would have said, are you absolutely out of your mind? No chance.
Meeting him, my mother and father, they both spoke to him. And you just know. It was a trusting, respectful environment.
But it wasn't easy, and it wasn't plain sailing either. Lots of the crew, you said they sort of spoke behind your back about what you were doing there, what was the reason for you being there, which that must have been really tough when you're that age and you haven't got your mother and father around to protect you. There was also a moment when, because you weren't dancing as much and you were on tour and you're eating, and you said your body changed and that you put on weight, and Prince's reaction to that was harsh.
Docking your wages.
Yeah, I know. But he was infamous for that. If you notice, that's why the band was so tight, and everybody was. It was just a respect thing, and
Was it
he didn't do it very
control?
often.
Because it sounds quite controlling. Because even he went further with your clothing and your hair and all of that thing. I know in a way you can go, well, that was him as an artist, and that's what he saw, and that was his vision. But actually living that on a day-to-day thing, sometimes you must have felt quite stifled.
No, it wasn't like he was asking me to have orange hair or do anything crazy. It was something to add to what he was doing, his vision, his album at the time. So it didn't feel controlling. It was fun. I never looked at it and was like, I don't want bangs, or I don't want to wear this. It was always like, yes, this is awesome. I mean, it was Prince.
How did he propose?
I was promoting an album with the New Power Generation, and I was in Spain, ironically in Barcelona, and it was the exact same day that I went to see the show while we were camping in 1990. It's crazy. Our wedding program, he titled it "Coincidence or Fate?" ? And I always used to think, that's weird, that's weird. But now, I mean, looking back and my years of living, I definitely believe in fate. So it was over the phone.
So it's not massively romantic if he proposed. Was it actually a phone call or was it a text?
No, there was no text back then. Back in 1990, of course. No, there was no text messaging. But I mean, it was over the phone. But then he made up for it because soon after that there was a whole. Oh my God, my alarm just went off. Oh, sorry. My alarm to wake me up. That's all right.
You're doing very well for being asleep.
Yeah. I know, I'm totally asleep right now. No, it was, he made up for it by doing this whole paper trail of hearts and flower petals, and I mean, it was very romantic.
There's a lot of detail in the book, and obviously we'd never get time to go through everything, but
Yeah.
you do hint at the fact that you were aware that he wasn't entirely faithful before, during, after.
I mean, I can't sit here and go, well, during this time it was this and this time. I mean, it's interesting because after he passed, I connected with a lot of people, and I mean, to hear the stories before me, and then hear accompanying people that were at the same time with him. I was like, I don't know how this man did it. It was crazy.
And we were also shocked last year when we found out the news that he'd passed away. And you found it was Manuela who contacted you to let you know. And it must have been, I mean, extraordinary for you to lose somebody like that had been such a huge part of your life.
Oh yeah, it was something. I mean, I grew up in the military, and my father was a pilot, so I always had this fear, and actually had something traumatic happen where his helicopter supposedly went down, and it left an impact in me to really appreciate people, and that life can end so quickly. So I always had that in the back of my mind, because of course Prince was older, but I didn't think it was going to happen so soon. I thought, you know, maybe in his 80s, because I mean, his father lived to be in his 80s, and.
Okay. We heard what she said. Prince, you know, she found that, you know, Prince was basically, you know, he was cheating. He was a player. We all know Prince was a player. I mean, Prince was a ladies' man. But I'm just saying, her father gave her rights over to Prince when she was 16, man. Okay? That's what she said. And I'm not trying to be malice about what I'm doing. I'm just trying to bring out show y'all that when you focus on R. Kelly and you say this person, Ezra Clary, you know, they said they signed her over to R. Kelly when she was 17, 18. I don't know how old she was, because their story keeps changing too. We got to really, really be careful what we're doing here, man. Because I'm going to tell you something. It ain't just Prince. And Prince hasn't done anything wrong. Prince passed on, man. Prince is with God, man. Prince would, you know, doesn't done anything wrong. But when you're in that industry, man, ain't nobody hands are clean. Now, her book is nothing malice about this man. I mean, she's not being malicious. She's not being malice. She's just telling her story. And here's another thing. There's a lot of rappers out there in the industry, from the NWAs, your Ghetto Boys, Wu-Tang Clan, your Busta Rhymes. They've all went through groupies. Teenage girls, underage girls. Yeah. It is what it is. So if we're going to keep on digging at R. Kelly, you're going to open up yourself. Open up yourself, man. You're going to open up yourself, man, for something that you don't want. So keep on digging, y'all. Keep on playing with R. Kelly. What you got to say about that, Philip Scott? She was 16 years old. Her father signed her away. And this stuff been going on forever. forever, not just with entertainers. My grandfather on my mother's side met my grandmother, married. He was 20, she was 16. My other grandfather was 20, met my grandmother when she was 14. Married when she was 14, 13 years old. So we're going to start digging up everybody. I'm just like, come on. It is what it is. So y'all just look at because of some European liberals to tell y'all this is what it is. Go after this person here. Go after that person next month. We're going to go after Bill Cosby this month. Next 5 months, we're going to go after R. Kelly. Next 5 months, we're going to go after Chris Brown. Next 5 or 6 months, we're going to go after Kanye West. So y'all get to choose one black person at a time to go after. See, I'm not pro-black, like I said. Being black is not what I'm trying to be. Being African-American is not what I'm trying to be. Being African-American is who I am. And whatever else I'm mixed with. See, some of y'all are trying too hard. You're trying too hard. And you need to know your history. It ain't just black artists that have done this. It's way more of them, Europeans, that has done this. But they want y'all to focus on your black man and continue to destroy them. Like I said, you better look at Jay-Z, your Puffies, Dame Dash, Russell Simmons. He's also had a relationship with underage girl, Russell Simmons. The whole thing about him being accused of raping somebody, I don't know about that. Never bought into him raping somebody. But the underage, So, let's keep it real. Let's keep it 1,000. Better start looking at some of these rappers, man. If you're going to bring it down, let's bring it all down. Let's go to Charlie Sheen. Let's go to Ben Affleck, his brother Casey Affleck.